I saw a man, a very tall man, and I don't think there is any man as tall as him in this world. Neither is there any human as tall as him in this world. Very tall. And I saw the man came out of the middle, just a middle, somewhere. And the man, I saw all over his body filled with chain. This man stand before me, so tall, his head almost touched the heavens, and the man is so fat that, in fact, is fatter than anything any human being in this world can ever imagine. But the problem is, I saw this man on chains on his both hands, chains on his both legs. And that seemed to be as if the chain is the biggest chain in the world. Then I saw this man with this chain. And I had in my vision, my secret place of study, I had the great Ararak or Karar or something, is the name of the man. A name I have never read about, a name I've never heard in my life. Then I saw this man sat on bare floor. This man sat on bare floor, and he was crying. The chain on his both hands and both legs looked as if they were heated in the fire. And the chains were burning him. The chains were very big, shackled about with chains. And I had him sit in that very middle of the land and was raising curses on his children and the great-grandchildren, crying in deep pains and then laying curses. And I asked God, what am I seeing? And he said, this is a great man that gave birth to billions of humans on earth, and his children are entangled with the world population. And they are one of the most populated kinds of humans on earth. Who are they? I was not made known. Then, why is he in chain? And the Lord said the reason why he's in chain is because while he was alive, he was very much fond of cursing his children. And in the result of the curses he said and laid upon his children, all his children began to hate one another. And God said, what a gifted children, blessed with everything, education, gifted with technology, gifted with everything. But his curse was boiled upon them, and his grimaces had a great effect on their lives. So all the curses he laid on the children began to have effect. So in all generations, after so many generations, the curse has always had effect, and the curse will last for the rest millennium. Who is this man? What God says, the only way you will know these people, you will know these kinds of human beings who are cursed by this great father of theirs who began their race, who began their kind, is simple. A time will come that these unique kinds of human beings, these gifted people, the great-grand children, great-grand and great-grandchildren of this man, time will come shortly that they will make themselves known to the entire world, because their troubles, war, quarrel against themselves shall even get the entire world and all humanity tired of them very soon. Their quarrel, their fight against themselves, their critics, they shall criticize themselves more than any kinds of human being in existence. Among them will come writers, inventors. So when one will write and another will write to counter what the other person writes, and they are brothers. This is the curse of their fathers. And great inventors will rise from within them. The inventors will use their inventions to attack one another. They are brothers, but they will never like each other for 1 second. Because the Lord said the curses of their fathers has already come upon them. But the Lord says the time shall come that their greatness will grow so high, and they will become so populated, spreading upon the surface of the earth like the sand is, like the numbers of sands. And also spreading on the surface of the heavens, just as the sky is. They shall be wide, they shall be populated people, and they shall be earth once, they shall be the world, one of the world's most populated and greatest people that the entire world will bow to. But the problem is, they will indeed despise one another and hate each other with a perfect hatred. And the Lordfulness will be something that the world will talk about and become so tired of at the end of the day. Then the next thing I saw was a vision of an endless greenish ground. Endless greenish ground. Very green. And I saw a man coming in a distance slowly. And the man I saw was a very, very handsome man. A very, very handsome man. Maybe in other generation and in other worlds. But I don't think I've seen any man in any generation as fine and very handsome, permit me to use the word beautiful for him, as this man. And I saw him walk from a distance, from this endless greenish ground, greenish, a land field of many greens, and there is no single dried plantation there, all green. And the handsome, very tall, handsome man with gap teeth, hairy. Beauty is just the total description of this man. He was coming very closer to me. And he came very, very close. Like some inches away. And behind him I saw a very big light, a very big brightness that I can never compare, even thousands, 10,000s of the sun put together. I can't compare it to the glory of the sun behind him and to that very brightness I saw behind the man. But the problem was that I saw the man in chain, a very big chain on his both hands, a very big chain, very big chains on his both legs, and the chain in his hands was connected to the very big chain on his legs. And the man, despite his beautiful looks, he seemed to look like a man that has been well beaten, tortured, and stressed. And I saw him on a brownish long garment. That long garment was torn, looked as if it was dragged, and all the long garment was pieces all over his body, destroyed. And a voice came out of the light behind him, saying to me, "This is Prophet Muhammad. If I lie about this vision on the last day, may God put my name in the book of death. And despite any good thing I do in this world, let me end up in hell. But if I say the truth, heaven is mine, and I will enjoy the milk and honey of the earth as well." I saw this light, and the voice came out of the light and said to me, "This is Prophet Muhammad." Then suddenly the voice from that light proceeded in asking this very man, this beautiful, tall, handsome man, on chains, shackles with many chains, and looking tattered and scattered. The voice was coming out of that brightness, asking him, these very questions, saying, why are you telling people that you are the light? And he rolls his both hands, and he was talking, making illustrations, explaining. And I saw tears pouring out of his eyes in fact, unstoppable tears was just rolling down his cheeks, and all his clothes was wet, dangerously wet with his clothes, with his tears, crying down to his feet. The tears flowed from his chest down to his feet. Even the ground was wet with his tears. And despite crying, he was talking. But between God and man, whatever he said, I did not hear anything. He was talking, but his talk was muted. So I could not hear what he was saying, but he was talking, demonstrating, showing, talking about past, waving hands to the past, as if he's giving, histories. But the pains and the tears and the cry was so touching and sorrowful. Then the voice was still asking him, why are you telling people that you are the light, O Muhammad? And he would stop. And the voice will ask again, why do you tell people? I was hearing the voice talking out of this great brightness behind him. But what he himself was saying, I wasn't hearing anything. Only the voice asking this question, why are you telling the world that you are the light? Why are you telling the world that you are the light? Why are you telling the world that you are the light? And the tears was uncontrollable. It's never finished there. Then the voice of God proceeded in talking to me. He said, I will give the world a sign that what you saw is nothing but the truth. And these are the signs that the entire world will experience to confirm these prophecies. 1. He said, there will be a very huge argument in Islam from now throughout until forever. Arguments will continue, and it will become so much within the Muslims. Arguments that will not be able to, uncontrollable arguments will happen within the Muslims. And he said there will be a particular argument that will come forth. A boy that drank the breast of Islam and grew up in Islam, and an Islamic boy, and will die a Muslim, he will come up with a very huge argument. And this argument will be the greatest argument in the history of Islam. From the beginning of Islam till Islam will finish, until the entire world will finish, Islam will never experience an argument as huge as this one this certain boy is coming with. He will cause a great argument within them using the Quran, and he will also sue Islam to court, and we demand that all Islamic scholars, teachers, preachers should sit with him globally, everywhere in the world. Let the whole world see them argue over a book of the Muslims. The entire world will see this happen. And he said, this is the first sign. Then the second sign, the Lord said to me, in Kahabat, where the Muslims go, where all the Muslims in the world go for their pilgrimage, he says, multitudes of women will be captured one day, practicing the act of lesbianism right in Kaaba. And there I saw a priest, a preacher rather, a Muslim preacher, sit right on the ground in the middle of the Kaaba. And I saw all these women round about him, and him alone is a man in that Kaaba. And he was preaching to these women in tears. And the women, all of them are in hijab. He was preaching and crying in tears. And because of what he was saying, even rivers was shaking. Rivers, waters, everything, land was shaking, animals were shaking, the ground was shaking, thunder was rumbling. But these women will not hear him. He spoke, every rivers in existence shook. He spoke, every trees and plantation shook. Land and the entire world shake at what he says. But these women who sit right under his nose will not hear him. Rather, they will mock him. Finally, in few time, these women will be caught. Multitudes of them practicing the act of lesbianism in Kaaba. And it shall become a global thing, a thing the entire world will talk about. And all these women that will be caught will die. They shall leave every of their lands and practice their evil in Kaaba. And they will capture them according to the law of Islam. They will all be put to death. And God says this will be the second sign of what will happen to confirm these very prophecies. Then number 2, he said, Arabians will lost a very great fight to the Jew. Arabians will lost a very great fight to the Jews. There will be a war between the Arabians and the Jews. And the Arabians will lost this very great fight. And it shall be put down in history. And it shall be a great loss of the Arabians to the Jews that has never happened before. A very touching and sorrowful moment for the Arabians. The day this will come to pass, the Lord says, is to confirm these very prophecies that I gave. He said, a Jewish boy born and bred up in an Arabian factory where they produce death and weapons will deceive and betray the Arabians, and they will lose a very great fight, and it will be the most sorrowful and touching loss and fight in their lives. The greatest loss, the greatest sorrowful moment of the Arabians will have something to do with the Jews one day. And God said, this is what will come next to confirm the prophecy. Then the fourth sign I saw is about a girl who will bring down the 7 gates of the caliphate. A Muslim girl, a child born of a Muslim man and Muslim father, Muslim mother, herself a Muslim, with her black hijab, will go leave her land and study somewhere, maybe east. Maybe she will leave her land to one part of the east and study there. And she will study in many countries, and she will be a very learned young girl. Then from where she studied, she will be polluted, and she will carry all her friends, pack her friends, 6 of them, and will take it to her land, the caliphate. And she will rob the caliphate of their ancient, present, and future wealth. Rob them of their power, rob them of their position, rob them of their voices, and she will bring down the 7 gates of the caliphate all over the world, and yet shall be a Muslim girl. These attempts have been made so many years and many times, but it will not be successful. But a child, a young woman who carries the same blood of the caliphate flowing in her vein will accomplish the mission, will be the one to foil the 7 gates of the caliphate all over the world, and the entire world will hear it. The rest of her friends will die during the struggle, but only she will escape out of her land. And God said this will be the 4th sign that will happen. A child of the caliphate, a daughter of the caliphate, will fall the gates and tall walls of the caliphate, and I see great fire burning within the caliphate. It will begin from one of their, I think I have to go back to the book, I've forgotten that. But the falling of the 7 gates in caliphate is coming, and their daughter shall be reason why caliphate wall, caliphate gate will fall, and wealth and a lot of things shall be robbed. And God said, this is the 4th sign. Then this one is the 5th one. Listen to the 5th one. It's a little bit mysterious. I saw this man, Aeneas. Is it Aeneas? I don't know. Aeneas, Sheikh Aeneas Ibrahim of the Muslims, this great Muslim role model, who usually come out and they celebrate, some climb trees, mountains to see and to tap wherever his picture shows or reveals. Sheikh, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it correctly, Sheikh Inyas Ibrahim. I saw him in the realm of the spirit in a small room, and is with a faithful servant, a young boy and his faithful servant who is learning from him. Then in that very room, I saw three things. One, I saw a mirror. In that mirror, he would sit facing the mirror and will be watching this world. And the Spirit of God said to me that he has been watching this world, and he will keep watching every generation, every new world, new people for the rest millennium. In the realm of the Spirit, his Spirit is there watching the entire world and seeing everything that happens in every world and in every generation. Then the second thing I saw was iron tesbih. Tesbih of iron. And I saw this tesbih, billions of it on one side, another billions of tesbih, uncountable. All of them are iron tesbih. On the other side. And the billions on the left hand side was said to be the tesbih, the ancient Muslims, all the Muslims that have existed in the world had used. Then the other one at the right one is the present and the future tesbih that all the Muslims in the world until the world will end are going to use. And all the tesbih are iron. Uncountable tesbih. What is it for? And God said, this tesbih shall be poured upon the surface of the earth, and the entire world will be filled with this tesbih. Then, why is it iron? Because I've never seen an iron tesbih in my life. Then God says, it's iron because Islam are going to be very strong at a point. In every world, in every land, in all land, Islam will become very strong, and their hands and the tesbihs of their hands shall be iron. This is the future coming Islam that I see. Then the third thing I saw was bundles and bundles, trillions of books. And the Inyas, Sheikh Ibrahim, whatever, said to me, I am the one who wrote the book. Then I saw billions and trillions of these books that cannot be mentioned. And he said, ever since I departed from the world, I have been busy in the realm of the Spirit writing these books. And these books is going to become an inspiration to all the Muslims in the world. These billions of books written in the realm of the Spirit, I saw these books with him. And they are not something that can be numbered or counted. And he said to me, I cannot count it. Then he said, a time will come that these books will be poured upon the surface of the entire world. And all the world will begin to see these books. Countless books. It will fill up all land and all existence, these books. And he said, this is how it will come. It will leave the spirit realm to the physical realm. He said it shall be injected into the brain of all the Muslims in the world, and it will come to them in form of intuitions and revelations and, inspirations, ideas, and they will write. So time shall come that Muslims will begin to write a lot of books, and nobody will write like them. Their books will conquer all land. They will write so much books. And the Lord said, the scientists, all the scientists in the world will choose to work with their books. Books. The entire world, scientists, anything. Them, the Muslim, the Islamic writers, and the science will work hand in hand, because this is the great inspiration that will be poured to them from the realm of the spirit to the realm of the physical. And the Lord said, though these men are dead, talking about Inyas, Ibrahim, these men are dead, but the spirit that worked with them while they were alive is still alive. And this is the spirit that I'm seeing in form of him himself and the boy also, and the books. So the whole world should prepare for Muslim writers who will come out unnumberable, and the world will accept them. The world will accept their writer more than anybody else writer. And God said, this will be the fifth sign. He will show the world to confirm that I saw Prophet Muhammad tied with chain, in pains, going through a question that he cannot answer, and he will never answer. The truth of the matter is, I saw him in pains, and this is this very great vision I saw. And these books, they are books we really do magic, a magic indeed. A miraculous works, inspirations, discoveries will be made through their books. Then the Lord said, a lot of temples shall fall. Temples, I saw temples falling. It will fall a lot in Asia. It will fall a lot in East, fall a lot in West, fall in South, and fall in North, fall in all existence. I see temples falling, temples of many lords and gods falling. The Lord said, I will crush so many temples. Temples, I will crush so many temples. So, if you want to serve the Lord your God, this is the hour. Christianity, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, because if you want to serve your God, serve him now. Because a time will come that this world will accept many, but will reject us. knowledgeable men and women, the science, we accept many, but will despise us, even when we get it right. But temples, we clash, don't forget.